Hello, this is Jeremy Schulte by name, and I'm going to be discussing happiness from a philosophical perspective, epistemological, existential, solipsism, but briefly and in no detail, well, in not extensive detail. Um, I believe that happiness is almost entirely intrinsic, entirely attached to intrinsic concepts. Happiness isn't related or reliant on anything external, nothing that can be defined as completely external, no stimuluses that are only limited to being external. It's not limited by external existences. I believe happiness is completely intrinsic. I'll start off this discussion with an anecdote about a little girl who adores ponies. This little girl adores ponies. She is with her parents, and she just got picked up from school. Her parents tell her that they bought a pony for her, that when she gets home they'll show her the pony and then she'll be able to play with it. The girl becomes very happy. She gets very happy because she loves ponies, and she thinks she is going to get one, and she's going to get one. When she gets home, her parents tell her that there is no pony, that they lied, that that pony never existed. And she's no longer happy, but sad. She's sad that she doesn't get the pony. However, why would she be sad about the absence of a pony that never existed in the first place? How could she become sad over something that didn't exist? Essentially, she went from a state of not having a pony to later on existing in a state where she also did not have a pony, except for now she's sad. And in that line of logic, why was she happy? Because she loves ponies and she was going to get a pony? Well, there was no pony. That happiness wasn't related to the pony, because the pony didn't even exist. The happiness wasn't reliant on the pony's existence. It was there whether or not the pony was at home. That happiness was still genuine. It wasn't fake. It wasn't false happiness. Neither would you say the sadness or depression she felt when she arrived home and there was no pony. That's not fake either. That's genuine sadness, genuine depression. So, essentially, I'm not saying that you can only be happy if you lie to yourself about things, or if you have to, I'm not saying that you have to go to the extent to tell yourself or imagine having the things you like, but I'm saying that 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 happiness she experienced was majorly gratification, and it was temporary because it was based on something external, but wasn't related to something external. It was completely intrinsic. The happiness she experienced was completely from herself. She fabricated it. Now, it was based on what was appealing to her, but still, it was not attached, not linked, not directly related to the existence of the pony, or the non-existence of the pony. So there is the relation, though, because she does enjoy ponies, she does like ponies. So I think that happiness is something that should be based on things that are significant and important to you, that you enjoy, things that are appealing to you. However, not to the extent that they rely on an external existence. Otherwise, it's not false happiness, but it's temporary and it can be unfulfilling. Even the threat of it being directly attached to something physical is enough for me not to want to base my happiness on such a thing. So I think instead that happiness and gratification should come from things that are intrinsic, things that aren't subject to change or external existence. Some things like this would include the value of relationships. That's something intrinsic. The value you have in your relationships, the conversations you've had, that's something that even if that person didn't exist, the value on all the conversations you had and on the relationship you had or still have, that is intrinsic. So they're still there even when that person dies. It's not external. It doesn't go away then. An idea, that's another thing that's intrinsic. If you draw happiness based off of your own ideas, beliefs, opinions, those are things you can control, things that are entirely intrinsic. This is all assuming that you keep your brain intact, but if you can do that, your ideas, beliefs, values, opinions, anything if you can draw happiness from these things, then it's an intrinsic source that doesn't just disappear or doesn't change, doesn't decay. You have control over all of that, whether it's in your mind, whether it's fading away. You have control. Knowledge is another thing, something you have control over. The knowledge of something can't be destroyed except for by you. You control whether that knowledge is important, and even if it's not important, but usually it would need to be important, you can still draw happiness from it, from knowledge, and like I said, it's not external. So another way you could be happy is your goals, your intrinsic motivation, something that you can decide within your mind, not external. So now I'm going to introduce a way of thinking where you apply happiness as part of an equation, a loose equation. a lot of thoughts when people think about philosophy, happiness, existentialism, epistemology, they are often, the general subjective questions like, why am I here? What should I do? How should I do it? What should I be like? What's right? What's wrong? What's what? So, I've drawn out a diagram to illustrate my thoughts about this. At the very left of the diagram, it could also be in the top, but at the very top or left it says, why am I here? And that's circled. Why am I here? Often asked because something that's important should be derived from your purpose, your personal presence and purpose in the world. So things that are important can be derived from that, and as well as happiness. From why am I here, there are two branches. In one branch, it leads to, I know why I'm here, or I know. So if you know why you're here, that would apply to that branch. And the much more popular branch would be, I don't know why I'm here, or I'm not sure why I'm here. Even for those who have religions, and those are their reason for being here, they don't know without a shadow of a doubt that is why they're here. If their idealism or religion or whatever tells them why they're here, they still don't know 100%, and they never will. That's just the way it is. And it's possible that this diagram will be outdated in 20 years when someone discovers the objective truth as to why we are all here. However, it's very rare that someone would truly admit, after extensive education, that they know without any doubt why they exist and what their purpose is. So that is going to be ignored, that branch. However, if it would exist, it would branch off into, I know I am here because, and then it would also be branched off into your purposes and what you have to do, and then into whether it's positive or negative, and whether it makes you happy or sad. But on the other branch, I don't know, or I'm not sure, that branches off into several other branches as to things that someone would think regarding how they don't know why they exist, why they're here, what their purpose is, or them not being sure about it. Those that are positive or generally lead to positive thinking are denoted by a plus, and those that are negative or generally associated and leading to negative thought are denoted with a minus. So some ways of thinking positively about not knowing why